Here we go again. It's Tuesday, time is 26 past 2 in the PM. This morning I dropped off the paperwork necessary for application for my thesis with an external supervisor at my supervisors who happened to be at uni. I'd announced myself ahead of time and then I ambushed them, I guess. Not as much because I did announce myself, but still. The only reason I announced myself is because I asked someone else's advice in regards to the social tuneness of just ambushing someone. And I was told, just announce yourself. You don't got to ask for permission, just announce yourself and then it's alright, socially acceptable to ambush. Which I done. Tomorrow I'll return to another lesson of theirs, my supervisors that is, just to pick up the paperwork. And then I'll just copy it right there and then on the uni copier and hand it in at the examination offices. And then I'll have applied for my thesis. Today is actually my last in-person lesson on campus, I guess, in the uni. Feel weird to say this, but I already know we aren't going to be doing much because 3/4 an hour, I mean, just until everyone have arrived, half the time are gone, you know. Until everyone have arrived, of 2 students and 1 tutor. Funny how that work. I still got 3/4 an hour before I got to be there, so I'm in no hurry today, I guess. Once I'd done that in the morning, I did go by my former place of internship. To my surprise, I guess, the colleague who had quit is still there, and they actually showed up in person. Because they have so much overtime, no one reckoned they'd actually return. Talked a bit with them. Turns out they got an offer they cannot refuse from a competitor, which is fair enough, I guess. Can't blame them, to be fair. And though it's an attractive workplace for me, I'll more on that later. Hopefully, if I don't forget. Haha. They will still have to be competitive salary-wise. I mean, they'll get the first choice of having me. But if they pay just even a couple of $100 less than someone else, might as well go somewhere else, because a couple of $100 a month, I mean, yeah, brut and net and all, but still, a couple of $100 before tax every month still add up to more than $1,000 per year after tax, no matter the tax. So, you know, they'll have to be economically viable and competitive to be able to get me. I just realised the phone's all wonk. Sorry for that. Sorry for the picture being wonk. There we go. Now it's a bit less wonk. Earlier today, the chief pulled me aside. Oh, they previously asked to have a talk with me and that I should come toward him before I'd leave. Chief of my former place of internship, that is. And they very sincerely stated they were very happy about me showing up and on the regular, even though I don't work there anymore. And that they were very serious when they asked me to please consider them before I go anywhere else for labour once I'm done with my studentship, with my studies. I did tell them, of course, you'd have to be competitive. I'm sure they are aware of it. And I believe for them, they're Gen X, I believe. Gen X leaning boomer, but most certainly Gen X. I believe compliments like that are not easy to give. That's probably why they asked me to step aside and have a talk. I guess that do mean they mean more to some degree. I mean, overall, this place of internship have gotten me a lot of confidence in myself. Just because I like working, as funny as it sounds, but I like the manual labour. Sorry for the background noise, this is a road of cobblestone. The speed limit is 30 kph, yet most cars are driving approximately 50 kph. Funny how that works. Yeah, but I think it's really hard for them to give compliments like that. And it means more that way. Then again, it's not news to me. I am fully aware they are very glad to have me, particularly unpaid at this time. Just because I come by and do the things I like doing. But that means no one paid have got to do them, One thing I, for example, do like very much so is having the safety links, which is just a short twisted wire to assure if fixtures fail for lighting or so, the lights do not drop and kill people from above heads and so on. Today I just sorted those because I like them nice and orderly, and it does improve the quality of work. Admittedly, sorting them by length doesn't really matter, because for application, their length is pretty much irrelevant. But I sort them by length anyways, because they do look nicer, and it's more professional if clients come, They got a hella busy day today, so I wasn't able to continue with inventory. Then again, that had been planned for Friday, and I will wrap it up on Friday, so I'm looking forward to that. Totally unrelated subject, I guess. Where I am parked right now, one may not park or even halt at starting at 1700, so at 5 p.m. today. Good news is I'm only here till 4 p.m. because uni is really short today. So I was able to get this parking spot no difficulties, presumably because other people would want to park longer than 2 hours. Surprise, you can't park much longer. And I would not be surprised if they have tonight, just for towing cars. Because the signage that's put up is put up by a blocking company for film. And the official reason for the Haltverbot, for double yellow line, basically, in signs, but it's still double yellow line in English, to my understanding, is film work. So, and it's only till tomorrow night at 10 p.m. So odds are they will be towing things later on. Good news is I shan't be here then. I got about an hour's buffer after uni before I got to be gone here. So that's going to be something. Oh yeah, drink of choice today is again coffee from my former place of internship. I am using the same reusable single-use cups, mugs, whatever they are. Just because still had them in the car, and why use new ones, I got two so I don't burn my hands, my little fingies. Then again, this is pretty close to cold. It's almost empty though, so Yeah, I am very oddly looking very much so forward to doing my bachelor's thesis. I do suspect I'll frequently return to my former place of internship for writing, because it's where I wrote my report on my internship, and I was very productive with 6 pages in a day. Obviously, for a report of internship, I didn't have to do research. For academic writing, as in a thesis, I will have to do research, that is. But I'm not actually too concerned, and I think I'll manage. It's funny because I've been anxious about it for months now, and the closer it gets, the less I worry, which is the inverse of how it usually works with things like this, I guess. It's like weird. My car indicator repeaters have arrived at home. Though I'm not there, I can tell. I know which neighbour it's at. And I actually had a positive response when I saw what neighbour it's at. Which is, I guess, an odd thing, but I was very happy it was them. For some odd reason. Really sorry for the cobblestone background noise. It's just because people speed in the city like crazy. Realistically, I should be indifferent to the neighbour my pastor's at, because I don't have any toxic neighbours who aren't there when I come to pick them up also. And the ones I look forward to particularly are the furthest in elevation from me one can be. So the most stairs, or I got to take the elevator. Oh, that sounded so English, sorry for that. But I still look forward to picking up parcels from them for some odd reason, just because I guess get to see their faces. Don't know. I guess they also aren't retired, which in my building is seemingly more than half the people. Haven't talked in depth, but have had the odd yawn on the doorstep and so on, you know. And my repeater indicators didn't actually cost that much. They only cost like $22 for the two of them, which is really solid, considering they're brand new with EN number, so they are legal substitutes. Just because my old ones are cracked because they had been leaking, and the stress of resealing them, which is questionably legal, actually cracked them. So I'm just gonna do the new ones. It's not even a jerry can of diesel in money, and it looks so much nicer, you know. The cobblestones are getting on my nerves. I hope they aren't getting on yours. Thank you very much for watching, by the way. I also got my hemp delivered. I have yet to find out where. I highly suspect it'll be in the mailbox, because there's 20 grams of hemp flowers. Odds are it'll be in the mailbox. I do not know which carrier had it, because it was shipped internationally, so from Austria. Surprise. Considering it's not legal to grow hemp to sell in Germany for some odd reason. Well, hemp flowers, I guess. You are allowed to grow hemp for ropes, if I'm not mistaken. I don't actually know. Just speculation at this point. But odds are, next time I'll be talking to you, I'll be smoking a blunt. Which is an odd thing. Then again, I've been using these. Might as well get one out. Show and tell, you know. I have been using these Focus UFR. These Purize activated carbon filters for the past couple of days. They actually got ceramic inserts on the end. This actual ceramic, which is quite pleasant because it means you can have it in your mouth for quite a while without it getting soggy. I've been using them for cigarettes, but that's really not their purpose because they're too expensive. The ones I have currently, which I only bought 100 off to try in the first place, cost 16 cents a pack, a unit. Surprised it didn't cost 16 cents the whole thing. That'd be cheaper than filters, than regular cigarette filters. But these cost 16 cents a unit, the ones I'm currently using, and I have ordered and by now finally paid for them. A load more of them, which I paid 14 cents per unit for. It's still approximately 12.5 times the price of plastic filters, cigarette filters that is. But it's so much more pleasant to smoke. I mean, yes, I get pleasure out of smoking. Smoking kills, don't smoke. No matter what. It's one of the reasons I do not aim to stop smoking. I simply aim to stop tobacco for the moment. Though I really enjoy this tobacco. It's the expensive shit, Golden Virginia. It's not cheap. I do not recommend smoking, but if you're smoking, you might as well smoke this tobacco. I'm not affiliated or sponsored by American tobacco, British American tobacco. Don't ask me who do this. Don't actually say on it. Okay, never mind. Whichever company this run this, I'm not sponsored or affiliated. Do not smoke; it kills you. I believe average life expectancy is 7 years less for smokers. Then again, historically, I believe that has been tobacco smokers. It's probably still 5 years or whatever if you're smoking something else. But I don't think there's enough data on that, or there haven't been clear enough studies. But I have enough pleasure in smoking, and I acknowledge I'm human and flawed, and I will have the odd thing that's not perfectly sensible in my life. So, hell, I don't do public transport, that's not sensible. So I might as well keep smoking for the moment at least. I am trying to get away from tobacco. First off, economic, which hemp is not much better in. Second off, health-wise, which hemp is a lot less bad in. I mean, burning it's always not going to be healthy. Anything burnt is carcinogenic, surprise, but, you know, it'll work out. I'm really oddly looking forward to that hemp. For the rest of the day, I haven't actually got anything in particular planned. Once I'm done with uni, leaving here just past 4 p.m. I still got food to warm up remaining from yesterday. I've done some sausages and some ready done pasta, I guess is the right term. I don't know, it's German pasta. So it's flour based instead of gremoli based. Don't ask me, I'm not sure. Probably butchering everything I'm saying here, but yeah, you know. It's got egg in it, I guess. Not every kind of pasta do. Yeah, I'd done 4 big effing sausages yesterday. Had 2 of them and half the pack of that, and I still got the rest to warm up today, so I'll probably do that. And I'll most certainly just do a chilled evening of no responsibility whatsoever, because I now got all my bureaucracy sorted, besides the thesis and applying for passport and applying for disability ID card, but that's all future Ben's problems, you know. I've been meaning to get myself some more passport pictures because I'll need one to apply for passport and I'll need another to apply for disability pictures. I believe disability ID card I can use non-passport photos, so I could just do a selfie. But realistically, if I get any photos, I will want to be clean shaven, not this kind of stuff, you know. So I'll have to shave sometime and get my photo taken. I'll probably just use a machine because they're good enough. And I'll end up looking like a criminal nonetheless. With the stuff I need the supervisor to fill out. Yesterday I just prepped the minimum viable, which is my expose, so they know what it's on about, what they're signing up for. The approval for an external supervisor, because they are not a profit this uni. And the application for bachelor's thesis, which you need a supervisor for, and I'm choosing this external one, so they also need to sign that. And I just prepared them a package with little flags where they need to fill in things. And they thought it was real professional of me. I mean, I just had it all properly bound, you know. And I gave them 2 copies, one for them to keep, one for me to take, and then I'll photocopy the signed one. I'll keep a photocopy hand in the authentic. And apparently that was really professional of me, which, I don't know, I guess might have been. I guess I am not that bad at bureaucracy, I just really strongly dislike it. I guess that's the way I'll put it. I strongly dislike bureaucracy. I'm not bad at it. Which, you know, I mean, in Germany, in this country, I will have to do bureaucracy, and I'm probably staying here for at least another decade. Who knows? The world could be a whole different place in a decade, so never know, but still, you know. Yeah. I am kind of looking forward to economic independence. That having been said, the institution I am currently economically dependent on still owe me money all the way back to February. They haven't approved February and March money they owe me, and according to the current state of affairs, I still owe them money for December and January. But realistically, they will owe me money for February, March, April, May, and soon enough June. I mean, this Friday the June payment is due, which means they'll be more than a quarter behind of full value payments and 5 months on partial payments, which is just crazy. I mean, yeah, I'm economically dependent on them to the point where I've had to sell some to keep rolling, I guess. To keep the car on the road. I'm having an appointment next Monday. Well, it's a loose appointment to say you'll come by, but for me it's an appointment. I'll show up there at a fixed time. I have it on my schedule. But that means by hopefully latest Wednesday next week, this car will be at the point where I can comfortably drive it to the maximum extent without having to worry about anything. The way it is currently, I would not want to go more than 100 kph for extended periods of time, and even 100 would be dodgy. And then I can, in good faith, go long distance again, which will be in time for writing my thesis. For writing and researching my thesis is kind of odd, but at this point I've already got a multitude of places I'll be writing at. That car was doing 60 kph in a 30. Damn, that's lose your license for a month. Then again, the central and right brake lights are not working. So yeah, I've got a multitude of places, most of which don't cost me a penny, but I am still considering the co-working space film club happening. I'll go there for at least a day for a trial because that's free. But odds are I might very well pay just because they've got these phone booths. I said so before, but I'm going to say it again, which is just isolation chambers. They are meant for phone calls, but I'll use them for writing, gladly. Funny how that works. Then I got my former place of internship, which have plenty of distractions, but I am also highly productive at. Just because I got few private distractions, I only got the professional distractions, and I'm currently not professionally bound there, so that's not too bad. And odds are I'll come and visit my mum. Hi, Mum. Sometime, who knows when. I'll give her a heads up though. And then I'll spend some time down there, writing, slaving away, doing research. The only thing I won't be able to do there all too easily is iterative proofreading. But that's like later stages of the thesis anyways, at which point I'll want to be here. So that will work out. I've wondered about it, and I think I'm actually not going to proofread it for quite a while. I'm just going to be generating text, writing, slaving away, hacking away at the keyboard for a really rather long time, and then I'll connect all the writing bits, and then I'll start proofreading. Maybe I'll proofread once before I connect all the bits I'm writing, but realistically, with 40 pages of body, so no references, not the table of contents, not the cover sheet, I will want to slave away quickly. If I do 2 pages a day for a month, I should have it, but that's still cutting it a bit tight. Realistically, I should do 3 weeks, and then I got a week of research before I start writing. Because the way I write is I've done most of my research, I got my citations together for what is a matter of fact, and then I write, and as I write I add some more citations, but only ones that I can quickly find. And of my peers, I believe I'm the one with the most citations, citing that is not being cited, because surprise, none of us have published anything. But I believe I'm not bad at citing academically and citing other academia, so you know, I mean, hell, my expose got 7 citations within it. One of those is only for fluid dynamics being a part of physics, which is quite obvious, but in general you have to assume people know something, and considering this is a thesis work in film, you got to assume people don't know what is part of physics and what not. So, you know. And another which I'm not quite happy with, I wouldn't be happy on a thesis level, but I am happy for the expose, is some marketing. saying there isn't all that much a connection between the arts and the sciences, or no direct link, or a commonly underappreciated link between the two, which is, I guess, fair to say. I'm not worried about finding proper citations for that, or a lack thereof, which is the same thing. For the actual thesis, but for now I haven't worried with it because I'll have to do a lot of reading, which that'll turn out with, so nah. I'd considered going to the T-joint after uni today, and I still might, but I believe I may be anxious enough to get my hemp, start smoking blunts instead of tobacco, and to not do that, and I'll probably be drained battery-wise, social battery and all that kind, but I reserve the right to still go T-joint because I haven't been this week, and I won't have any time the rest of the week, and I do aim to go once a week, so today's a good day, I guess. It's not as big an economic impact as I had initially thought going to the T-joint. At the end of the day, going there cost about as much as a pizza for takeout, including parking, that is. Pay $4 for parking, a tenner for tea and some cake. But, that's a cost of being at peace for a while, I guess. Which is a funny way of putting it. But I'll truly get that out of there. I've considered writing into the housebook with just a regular pen, considering I'm not carrying fancy pens and I don't like taking them out of the house. One of which have been in the family for generations at this point. My dad had it handed down and I've had it handed down. Well, taken down, because, not everyone prepare for their death to the fullest extent, I guess. But I really don't like taking it out of the house, just because it add the risk of losing it or having it stolen. And if it stays in the house, I don't got to worry about that. So it's one less concern. So I might very well, if I do go to the T-joint today, which seem to be becoming more and more likely, as I'm thinking about it, I might very well write into the housebook, because I've written up my little text I'm writing there on the phone beforehand. Haven't practiced my handwriting, but it's a housebook. It's not for nice handwriting. It's for people saying hello and I was here and whatever. It was previously in proper old school writing with nice cursive, but it is no longer, and it have been repurposed. And the owner of the T-joint decided to not remove the old pages of the nice cursive, because in the end of the day they're contributing to the history of that book. I mean, the book's well over 100 years old, and this will just be a chapter in its history. And I will be but a paragraph within that chapter. It's funny how that works. Yeah, I guess. The more I think about it, the more I say my tea dealer, not a euphemism, because people tend to think, ooh, tea dealer, he must be talking about grass, marijuana, cannabis. Oddly enough, no. I believe I don't know a person who would want less to do with the stuff than my tea dealer. They are literally that, a tea dealer. And operator of a tea house that accompany the shop. Funny how that works, I guess. That's just the way it is, though. I guess that's a solid title for the day. My tea dealer is not a euphemism. That's a thumbnail, there we go. Yeah, it just sound odd saying that. I still got 5 to 10 minutes before I got to leave, so I might as well waffle on about life and shit, what I do here. Thank you very much for watching, by the way. Some of you know me in person, some of you may not. Even if you do know me in person, feel free to just leave comments. I don't mind discussing things on the public forum, otherwise I wouldn't be doing this here and uploading it on the interwebs. That is, of course, don't dox me also, that's a dick move, but stating the obvious, we do. I mean, it is known, if you do the research and watch all of these, which city I live in and which part of the town, so, hell, with this beautiful reflection up here, that's actually also a good thumbnail, there we go. I may have revealed more than I meant to, but I believe I probably didn't. You'd have to know where certain vehicles were at certain times to know where I live, so it's not publicly available information. One thing I only just noticed is the sign combination. Though I was very happy with all the right signs being on it, which is still true, which is no halting, absolutes Haltverbot, no halting whatsoever, basically double yellow line in sign form. Time period including dates and times, which is perfectly fine, and also in marked parking areas. But I believe the bottom two signs should be the other way round. Because the way this is, one can never halt here, to my understanding, and not on the side in that time window, but I believe that's the wrong way round because it's very apparent how it's meant, and the other way around it wouldn't make any sense because, there's a kindergarten here, people got a halt to let out their kids, I guess. A lot of them park illegally, but that's just a city, I did ask my primarily English speaker friend, whom I got the from earlier today because I got to see him, what they would call what I done with the doorsteps at work. I referred to it as screening, and I don't actually recall their wording, but they basically said, I'd just call it a bodge. A fix-up, I believe, was the term they used, which is fair enough. Then again, it's a professional bodge. Call me Wodger the Bodger. No, just kidding, I'm Ben. Hi there, my name's Ben. Anyways, I hope you two can do a good bodge job. A good job bodging, that is. Not bodging things you aren't meant to. Stay safe. The church starts to ring, so I'll see you around. Cheerio.